Boys and girls, we are here on a fine. Fuck, are we? On a Wednesday evening, miércoles, for our Spanish-speaking friends. Uh, this is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and our very special guest. Look at that beautiful person right there in front of us. He's gorgeous tonight. We will welcome our very special guest, Hot Stuff, Superfro.
Yeah. How's it going, brother?
Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
We have had technical difficulties getting it together here, but we never tap out. We kick out at 2, and we persevere. I heard calls coming in because Superfro is on STP. I apologize. I'll keep
Now
your
you're all
fans
good.
happy as much as I can, my friend.
Now you're all good, man. Take the stage for this one.
So, how's my man Superfro doing tonight?
I'm doing amazing. It's a pleasure being here, man.
I think we lost Superfro. Do
Huh?
I hear you? No. Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Oh.
I am so sorry. Your fan base calling in screwed everything up. See, the technical difficulties do not stop tonight.
Yeah, man.
So, welcome to the show. You look absolutely gorgeous. That
Thank
beautiful smile, the charisma, the gear. I mean, you, my friend, are what we call a rising superstar in the business, as Christopher Daniels would say. You look mighty fine, and I appreciate that as a fan. You don't coming in looking half-ass.
Right. Just
So
gotta-
let's kind of start right there because, I mean, I know you don't have probably your ideal gear right now, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now, boys and girls. My man Superfro comes through that curtain, comes through that door, comes down that ramp, and he is dancing. He's jiving. He's doing all sorts of fun things, gets us involved, which gives us the signals of let's cheer for my man Superfro. We talk about these things, about making the connection with us, the fans. You seem to be doing that right off the ripper with the way you look, with your music, and the way you come out and celebrate. So let's kind of start with your look because your hair, it's beautiful. I could never look at that. See, I could never do what you're doing right now because I have a lack of growth up here. Let's start with the gear. You're bright. You got a little color going on. You've got the shades. You've got the pick. Talk to us about your ensemble that you've got going.
Honestly, the gear is just a work in progress. I mean, you've seen from January, I had my first match in the Rumble, ripped up tights, had my own custom shirt. And then now we're coming up to training days in style. You know, I'm coming out with shades, with a shirt, with my own pick. I mean, I've never done that before. This is probably the best I've ever looked in my life. But
I have to say, I agree because I go to the shows with Mia Moore, Karen, and her son Josh, and we always talk about what we see. You know, it's not just about the matches; it's about the presentation coming out and giving us your brand, if you will, so to speak. And I know you are way, way young. We're going to get into that. Way young into your career. As you've already kind of just mentioned about January being your first match in a Rumble. But it's always an evolution. But again, you don't come out in a T-shirt, shorts, a pair of sneakers. You're coming out with something. You're giving us something. And doesn't it feel good, though? Because you just said, that was my first time really coming out like that. Doesn't it feel good to be that presented like that, you know?
It feels amazing, especially when it's your own creative. You know, it's just the best. And then you're just in your element and you feel it.
Absolutely. And you have a vision, obviously, when you get in as a fan and start wrestling. You always have this crazy vision of what I'm going to look like and how I'm going to wrestle and what I'm going to say and how I'm going to cut a promo and all of the things with wrestling. But right now, in your very young career, I think you're at a very fine start with, again, we're talking presentation coming through that curtain. Now, when you do come through, I want to kind of piggyback on the connection with the fans. Not everybody can do that, my friend. You're seemingly doing that right off the ripper. Not everybody can do that. And I've spoken to many a talent that say, even 10 years in, they're still trying to kind of find their way with making those connections with us.
Mhm.
So you come out, you dance to your entrance, we dance to your entrance, we clap, we snap, we jive. Um, let's talk about the music that you've selected. Now, me personally, because I'm videoing and then I'm putting it on YouTube, I like when the guys and girls have their own music, but you're young, you're just starting out, you can't have everything all at once.
Yeah.
But please talk to us about the music that you have chosen to come out to and why.
So it's actually funny because training with the guys, whenever we're talking about each other, we give each other ideas, right? And before the Superfro character even became a thing, somebody told me that I have a very old school look to me, that I could do all of this stuff. And then it took one car ride. We're picking out certain songs. I'm not really feeling them. As soon as I heard Donna Summer's Hot Stuff, mind you, that's the first time I've ever heard it. As
Oh,
soon as I
really?
heard that, yeah. So as soon as I heard that, I clicked with it. And I got the vision of what I wanted to do with that. Looks,
Nice.
features, I got it all just from that listening to that for the first time.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful because it only takes 1 second to really get something out of the blue. It could be a movie. It could be a TV show. It could be you're walking in the park with your girl or something. You never
Right.
know where that little bit of inspiration and creativity comes from, especially in the universe of wrestling, because you need creativity. That is very first and foremost. So that story right there is beautiful. Could you tell us who you're in the car ride with? Is it some of the boys that we might know, or girls? You never know. Or was it just with your family, kind of thing?
It was with a family member.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these little things kind of happen out of the clear blue sky. Now, hot stuff. You've never heard this song. Now it's part of your wrestling entrance. That is just absolutely amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Now, what do you listen to for music regularly? If you could share with us.
It's funny. I listen to like a bit of everything now.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I like R&B, I like rap, I like Jamaican music, I like disco music, I like pretty much mostly all music. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Death metal, is death metal in your soiree in your repertoire?
surprisingly, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit.
uh, with the fro, I could see Superfro moshing in the pit. That would be something to see.
That'd be interesting.
um, now let's talk about when you do come out. You've got the music kicking, you've got the energy kicking, you've got the pick, the headband, you've got the gear going. Now, when you come through the curtain and making that connection with the fans, they're jumping up, they're dancing, they're clapping, we're doing the thing. The people are singing, my man. When you go through their curtain, because I would never know. I'm a skinny little bastard. Muy flaco, as Ref Q would say. Ref Q. It's really cue the ref, boys and girls. Let's be right here. Cue the ref. It's not ref Q. It's not just Q. I mean, it could be just Q, but everybody likes to call him ref Q. It's not. It's Q the ref. 3 words, if you will. But he likes to call me muy flaco, and which I am. But coming through that curtain and getting that energy and putting out that energy, we're doing this dance of fan and wrestler. Talk to us a little bit when you're coming out, especially like at a training day 50. Beautiful, beautiful. Talk to us about that energy and what you're going through at those times.
It's it's a lot. Like once I'm backstage and I'm having the nerves, once I hear that song go, I instantly get into it. And like if I'm doing a comparing, like with Training Day 49, I have family members there. So even not looking at them specifically, I had everybody else who didn't know who I was up on their feet, ready for me. And then going to Training Day 50, I'm doing my strut and just hearing the Superfro chants loud like it's a stadium. That was something that was like, holy shit! Like I didn't. It's not that I didn't expect that, but it was like still a crazy feeling. But it really makes me happy that I'm able to give out that energy to the people.
Mm. The charisma, the beautiful smile, the dancing, the music. It's all working. From my eyes, my man, I feel that it's working right now. And again,
Appreciate it.
oh, absolutely. And again, you're always evolving,
Mm.
and you're very very young in your career. That is so much fun. When
Yeah.
I said, because Josh likes to ask me, I'm just gonna say he knows how to work the internet. He knows how to go on Facebook. I'm gonna say he's just a smidge lazy and he relies on me to tell him who's on the card. And that's what he
Mm.
does. So I usually read aloud the card. And when Karen heard your name, she was like, yes, kind of thing. We get excited when we
Yeah.
hear Superfro. It's so much fun when you're at the shows.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
now, and I just take the ride with me. We never go in a timeline. My brain, because I don't write a damn thing down.
Right.
I don't ask the fans for questions. I just like to hit record and go off the cuff.
Yeah.
Uh, I've never been canceled yet, so I guess I'm doing okay. We're at about 380 episodes or so.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, I believe you're right around that mark. I'll have to double check on that because I only have one brain cell. But I believe we are about 380 episodes.
That's an
Uh,
honor.
and I've been lazy for a couple months. So this is kind of like a little rejuvenated STP. And Superfro is joining us and getting our blood pumping here.
I'm glad to be the first guest back. That's an
Yes,
honor.
yes, and I love it. I wanted to get. I always love the younger talent, and I will say that forever
Mm.
and ever. I love getting the younger talent, first interviews, first matches, first promos, first whatevers, um, and just seeing and going back. And then
Yeah.
we could talk maybe a year or so. But like I have Sean Knight, the Prince of Greatness, returning December 10th on STP. We haven't
Mm.
talked in 3 years.
Mm.
3 years in
Wow.
wrestling is like it's almost like 10 years. And
Right.
real life time for Christ's sake, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so we get to see the evolution of the young talent on STP, and that's what I love. So you coming on, uh, Gianni, the chef, let him cook, let him cook. He's
Oh yeah.
coming on. We have some young talent coming on right now. Don't tell anybody, but I
Mm.
got Jeremy Lacroix coming on. Are you
You
shitting
do?
me? I do.
Interesting.
I didn't ask him. Let that be known for the record. I didn't ask him. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Uh, but that's neither here nor there. But anywho, we have some great talent coming up in November, and then again with Sean starting us in December, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
I do forget the point that I was gonna make because again, one brain cell. That's all I got. You just gotta roll with the punches. Oh, I know what I wanted to go to. Family. Seeing
Mm.
your family coming out through the door, that's even a bigger confidence boost. It warms your heart even just a little bit more
Mm.
with strange fans cheering you on, but seeing that family, Mama Fro and company, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. Talk to
Yeah.
us about seeing your family. I mean, even previous to coming through the curtain, just pre-show, you're seeing them, you're kind of mingling with the peeps or here and there, and just seeing your family there, it's got to be fantastic because without a support system, my man,
Mm.
it's a little rough to make it in the wrestling business, you know?
Definitely. And you know, seeing a lot of family, even friends like Mama Fro, she was at the January show for my Rumble first match. My girlfriend and her mom recently was just at Training Day 50, cussing everybody out, but she had fun. And just seeing family there, it's a good thing, but there's a lot of pressure
Mm-hmm.
because when you have your family there, you want to do the best you could. And
Mm-hmm.
there's times where you're in that curtain and you know your family's there. You're like, holy shit, like this is what they've been waiting for. But then
Mm-hmm.
once you go out there and like you're just performing for them, it's like, all right, I got this. And then you just have fun. But like for me personally, I know my family has a lot, but I also look at everybody else, my family, other fans, see what I'm doing right. And when I
Mm-hmm.
see the people, family or not, just cheering on their feet, having fun, I know I'm doing something right. So
Absolutely.
that's always an honor.
Absolutely. And you're seeing it. See, that's another thing.
Mm,
It's hard to be able to visually, mentally catch what's going on outside the ring because you want to be so focused in that ring. It becomes like blinders on a horse to a
yeah,
degree.
yeah.
You get this tunnel vision of my moves,
Mhm,
his moves. We've kind of did a little chit chat. I want to
mhm,
make sure I got my shit together.
yeah,
I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt my opponent. I want to
yeah.
make sure that everything comes off clean, and I
Mhm.
don't want to mess up. And I want to make everybody proud, and I want to make the fans. There's so many things
Right.
all at once
Mhm,
as a very young singles wrestler.
mhm.
So for you to actually already talk about that you're visually seeing what's happening around outside of the ring. It's like when the rock stars get up on the stage and they see their crowd. You don't see everybody, but when you can see them, you pull them in and you utilize them for your show on stage. I've been there,
Yeah,
my man. And
yeah.
and it's there's no feeling like that. And
Mhm.
wrestling is very similar to that rock star-esque feeling. I
Definitely.
mean, where the hell are you gonna go? What are you gonna go to Cumberland Farms and everybody's gonna be fucking singing and dancing the hot stuff? No, you gotta go to a training day or a road show and
Right.
have some fun.
I mean, I
Uh,
hope they would at Cumberland too.
hey, no, there may be a day where you walk into a Cumbies and they're like, "Fuck, it's hot stuff," and you start dancing. You never know.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, support system very very big
Mhm.
within the business of wrestling, and I'm seeing it, and I'm loving all of it. That's very very cool.
Yeah. I mean, even for me, just to touch on that a little bit,
Yes,
like
please.
even like outside of wrestling, when I'm living my normal life, I see like there's people from my old high school that wants to go to shows. My cousins from like Florida, people from my job, like everybody want to go to these shows. So it's like even with the training days, I try not to pack my family into it because I'm with so many people. But like, just to like graduate this year from high school and then a couple months later to have your freaking guidance counselor or like a teacher to be at your shows and to see you perform, it's
Mm.
it's just so crazy. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a crazy feeling.
Your beautiful smile says a lot, and I know you're feeling all of that love, my man, and
I
it's just amazing. I love all of that bubble around Superfro. That's just beautiful stuff, man.
appreciate it.
Um, Now, let's talk to the boys and girls. Absolutely, my friend.
Mhm,
Let's talk to the boys and girls, though, because we haven't got there yet. Because, again, I just go all over the place.
mhm.
Uh, we have mentioned you're very young in your career. You said you had your first match in January. You've been training for how long at this point?
I'd say so. I started when I was 14, so that was during the pandemic. I
Okay.
did it for a couple months. I actually started my pro wrestling career before I started high school, which is insane.
Wow.
I did it for a couple months. I came back when I was 16. I was kind of on and off until I graduated just recently, and
Okay.
then I just started getting greenlit for shows and doing my thing. So it's about like
Mhm.
2.5 years of training.
Go ahead, my friend. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I was just trying to get some notifications out of here. Jesus,
oh,
your fan base is off the chain tonight. Holy caroli.
yeah.
Um, so young, and you're looking real good in there. So you're putting in, it shows though, so you're putting in the work,
Mm.
as they say, because you don't want to half-ass this. You want to keep yourself, your opponent safe all the time. That's number one. Safety is right up there on the number one of all of the things that we talk wrestling.
Yep.
Now talk to us about finding the TOS dojo. How did you come across it? Did you find something previous? And give us a little rundown on how you came across the dojo.
So in middle school, I've always had the plan that, all right, when I turn 18, when I graduate, I'm gonna go to Florida, work, and then train at like Gangrel School or something, because I know there was a lot of schools in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But during the pandemic, which was a crazy time, but for me personally, was a blessing in disguise because somebody, my mom always put on Facebook how much I wanted to be a wrestler. So somebody hit up my mom and was like, "Hey, there's Test of Strength Wrestling in East Hartford. You guys could check that out." And it just so happened that the school was literally next to my middle school, which I
Really?
never even knew about. Yeah. So, um, so it was when the dojo was opening back up from the pandemic. Obviously, everything had to shut down. I
Mm-hmm.
came here, and first person I saw was Jordan Rowe, and I'm like,
Oh, boy.
yeah, and I'm the most like intimidated kid. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm getting myself into, but
Right.
I'm here for it. And then like that was pretty much it from there.
Mm. Well, I mean, I know I gave you a big oh boy when you said Jordan Rowe, but I gotta say, if there's anybody that you want to kind of be, who was the first person you met at the dojo? That right there is probably
Mhm.
one of the perfect people that you would want to meet at the dojo first off, because my
Mhm.
God, that kid's talent is just un. There is, I want to say that kid is unlimited for real. He is so.
Yeah,
Don't tell him I said that, please.
I
Shh.
won't.
Don't ever tell him I said that.
Yeah.
Uh, because he is the Snapple god, and we really had a lot of fun. We really had a lot of fun before TOS Youngboy kicked him the bleep out and
Yep.
sent him back.
Yep.
Uh,
Do
but I kind of do miss him though. I do. Shh.
you?
I
Oh,
do. I
okay.
do. All right. But yeah, there is no limit on that kid's talent. I mean, he is really, really good.
Yeah.
Um, Now we talk about the next generation, um, kind of being the knowledge being passed on from one generation to the next in the business.
Mhm.
Now I kind of want to touch upon that because you've just mentioned Jordan Rowe.
Mhm.
Now he's a little before, or a little after, I should say. He's a little after we have the likes of a Sammy Diaz, a Jay Bricks, a Richard E. Stone, and Elijah Sticks, collectively known all together as a firm, which was kind of a three-piece that just made a reunion. Oh my God, that
Oh,
was mind-altering for me. I almost ran like the wind because I thought Elijah Sticks was going to come out of the woodwork somewhere, but he did not. Thank you.
yeah.
But we have Ty Shine, for crying out
Mhm.
loud. Have you ever
Yep.
seen Ty Shine in
I
ring?
have.
Oh, God. Love me some Ty Shine. TJ Howell, Ryan Frost. I mean, the list, I could go on and on and on.
Mhm.
The dojo produces some really good talent.
Yeah.
Yourself, Peter Gianni. I always want to say Giovanni every time I start saying it.
It's similar.
Uh, Peter Gianni. We
Mhm.
have, let's see if I can remember some of the newer guys. Let's see. Well, I'll go from what we just talked about, the Sammys and such, and the Ty Shines was even before that with the Dickie Moons and such,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then we circle down to now, the Jordan Rose was kind of after those guys, right?
Mhm.
And then the Jordan Rose becomes the TOS Young Boy,
Yep.
right? Oh my God. I mean, when the talent doesn't stop over at the dojo, then
Oh,
we trickle down to the Superfro, the Peter Gianni. Did not say Giovanni. We have the likes of, oh, let me
you got
see,
Manny Bates.
Tommy Bates. We
Yep.
have the likes of, okay, Daddy Cat, I'm not going to say that on a regular basis. I
Yeah.
hate calling him Daddy Cat, okay? I'm going to call him maybe Hello Kitty or something. I've used it for a previous wrestler. I think I'm going to recycle that and bring Hello Kitty to Daddy Cat.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't say it either.
Yeah. I'm not calling him Daddy Cat. But we've got the likes of Daddy Cat. Oh, you know who else I forgot? Mark Alexander, for F's sake. I cannot forget
Yeah.
the tag half with Nolan Pierce of Counter-Strike, the tag team champions. Mark Alexander, holy shit, he's on fire. Oh my God, he's on fire. So I speak all of these names, and some of the people that are watching are familiar, but not everybody is. And I say these names out loud because if the boys and girls don't know these names, they can go on the old face page or Twitter or whatever. I'm not calling it X. I never called it X. I never will. And such. I don't mean to be an old get off my lawn guy, but fuck, it's not X. It's Twitter. Everybody calls it Twitter.
Right.
So I say these out loud so the people that don't know some of these names might go check out the new talent, if you will, you know?
Yeah.
So now that I've said all of that out loud, talk to us about the peers that you're working with and training with and coming up. Pretty Poppy, Magic Man, how can I forget? Dajay Simone, holy shit.
Yeah.
I forgot. Patrick C. Red Sawyer. Jesus Christmas, holy shit. If I don't, we can clip all of that. I don't want people thinking I forgot shit.
Yeah.
But I say these names, like Training Day 50. You got to tag team with the chef, Peter Gianni, against the Trenches, Red Sawyer, and
you fought the Trenches?
Oh, wait. No, it was Superfro. Hold on. See, that's what I'm saying. I got one brain cell. It was
That's a lot of names.
And Superfro and Peter Gianni.
We have Manny Matrix and Dickie Moon.
Manny Matrix and Dickie Moon. Yes. Oh, see. Thank you. I'm thinking of the Daddy Cat. I'm thinking of Hello Kitty and Tommy Bates.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. They went against the Trenches of Red Sawyer and Patrick Saint. Thank you for helping me out. But being able to tag with one of your peers and get in the ring, again, one of your peers being Manny Matrix. I've never met him personally yet. I've friended him on the socials. But then you have the likes of a veteran being one Dickie Moon, who's been around for a minute, a big fan favorite.
Yeah.
Talk to us about working with those three gentlemen.
That right there was just an honor. Working with Dickie Moon, somebody like that with such a great character. When that match got announced, I was just thinking the whole time, how is Superfro and Dickie Moon gonna rap? Like, I was very interested. But no, he was great. Manny Matrix, shout out to him. He showed out in that match. Did you see that drop kick that he gave to me?
Beautiful.
Crazy. He backflipped off of it, off my jaw. That like it's crazy. But nah, Manny, he's unbelievable. He's very athletic. He's somebody you're definitely gonna see more of. And then, I mean, me and Pete, we went at it Training Day 49, Fight for Your Dreams. And now we're tagging, nothing but respect. I mean, you want to talk about beating the hell out of each other and being friends like nothing happened. I mean, but not with Pete, like he's super, no pun intended, he's super helpful with my career. He's done a lot for me personally.
Awesome.
In the ring. And that's what it's all about, just helping each other grow and get to that next level. And that's something that we all did for each other and that we continue to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Manny Matrix one of the TOS dojo guys?
He is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get to know Mr. Matrix a little bit because he did show up and show out at Training Day 50. That was fun, man. That was really, really fun. Sorry I got the matches mixed up.
It was a lot of names to think of.
Yeah. Don't tell Mama Fro, but I smoke a lot of weed, so I forget a lot of shit. All right, just keep that on the down low. Now, training day 50, I've been going since training day 12. Foggy has been going since training day 1, for crying out loud.
See, yeah.
And so I've missed a few,
Yeah.
but Foggy has been going literally since day 1 when Christian Casanova was at training day 1, if you will. Now, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
And Ty Shine, one of their first students, along with, I don't know if you know the history of Test Your Strength, but this may tickle you if you don't know this. Along with Ty Shine, one of their other first students, if you will, probably like their second or third student, would be one TJ, what was his name? Tyler State Farm. Now, Tyler State Farm, he had some khakis. He had a red State Farm shirt on, and his name was Tyler. Very simple. Tyler State Farm, who has now evolved into TJ Howell III.
Yeah. I didn't know that part.
No, I love to fuck with TJ Howell III. I mean, that's one of my most favorite pastimes, for Christ's sake. He always unties my sneakers, and if he can't untie them because I double knot him and I laugh at his face, he can't untie my shoes, he pulls them off and he throws them across the fucking room. So one of my favorite things to do is F with TJ Howell, but I'm going to just pause right here because he's a perfect example. Started off as a State Farm guy, right? We're talking evolution in your career, right?
Yeah.
We did. See, that's what I'm saying. Stick with me. We have TJ from State Farm. Then we had TJ Johnson, a little black under the eye, a little baseball cap, a little bat, a little, baseball gear. Now you become TJ Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Now he's evolved into TJ Howell III. Now, TJ Howell II, he's real. He just had to work his way and evolve to get to his real self, being TJ Howell III. Because his old man, I've dealt with his old man, he is not fun. He loves Alex Rojas, the GM, loves him to pieces, hates me. Has tried to cancel me like 3 different times because of Alex. Yeah, he's got some. TJ Howell II, don't fuck with TJ Howell II. He's real.
All right.
TJ Howell III, my whole point being is the evolution of a wrestler. You never, well, I can't say never, some have, but you usually don't stick with your first gear, first gimmick. First way you cut a promo or speak or talk to the fans or talk to your opponent. All of it starts evolving, man. And now we've got TJ Howell. He's been hot and cold with my man. Love him to absolute pieces. One of the most amazing humans I've ever met in my entire life. One, Ryan Frost.
Yeah.
What a relationship they've had, hot and cold. Holy shit sticks on that.
Yeah.
But if you sit back and you get a little bit of history of Test Your Strength and you look at the way some of these guys have evolved into who they are now that have been around for a minute, you'd be quite surprised, my man. I mean, for real. And you would take a step back to yourself and you'd be like, I got this shit,
Yeah.
So poke around a little bit. I mean, even if you just want to hang around and bullshit one of these days, I can give you a little Test of Strength history. We can have a lot of fun just talking some of that. I think you would enjoy that,
Oh, yeah.
Except I don't talk about Dan the Man, okay?
Oh, we don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't. I've seen some of the stuff. It's crazy.
Politics, religion, and Dan the Man. Those are the 3 things that I don't talk about.
Wow. That's a crazy list. Dan the Man.
Yeah. Do you know that I did, well, maybe not. We'll find out. I did an STP with Dan the Man. And as soon as we started recording, there was a facsimile of Dan the Man, a Funko Pop doll of Dan the Man.
Wow.
I talked to that fucking thing for 2.5 hours. That plastic Dan the Man doll. I talked to it for 2.5 hours.
Damn.
It talked back. But I mean, I talked to it. I talked to it. But I think it talked back. Maybe I imagined all of that 2.5 hours. I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, he wouldn't even come on face to face, see a facsimile of Dan the Man. So yeah, and Santa Claus gives out the shittiest gifts ever in the history of ever.
I've heard about that. You think he'll be at this training day?
Dude, he doesn't miss Christmas. He loves to piss off the peeps at Christmas. Let me tell you, he does not miss a season at all to piss us off. I've gotten a Triscuit box full of twine at NEW before.
Wow.
I've gotten, I gotten, it was like a net of some kind with, I don't know, I can't even describe it. It looked like a fucking cat toy that he bought at the dollar store or something. I got that. I got, last year I got 3 empty toilet paper rolls, right?
Yeah.
Then the guy behind me, Terry Duffy Jr., which I know he made such an amazing Superfro sign, and oh my God, it was beautiful.
It was great.
Terry Duffy Jr. behind me, he got a fucking pouch of spaghetti. I still have this shit.
Spaghetti?
It's a pouch of spaghetti sauce. Yeah, so he didn't want it, and he put it in my bag that had 3 empty toilet paper rolls. I still have it to this day. All of these shitty gifts, I still have. I think the sauce, I don't even think it has a shelf life. I think it just lasts through the Holocaust, the nuclear blast, and everything. I don't think, I'm like, sauce in a pouch? Who the fuck? Yeah, but that's what Terry got. So his gifts are pretty shitty. Oh, he gave out a can of tuna fish to the guy next to me, George Kelly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
At NEW, he gave a guy a brand new iPhone, but when you open it up, it was a fucking dirty sock.
Wow. He's worse than the grip.
Yeah, so these are the examples of Santa Claus that I wanted to give you. There's some history of Santa Claus right there. I don't like when Santa Claus comes around.
Hopefully he misses this year.
I would love for him to skip a year. That would be fantastic for everybody. Shit. But Superfro, you have the beautiful pick. We've talked about your gear. You come out, and again, some wrestlers will overdo it. Some wrestlers will underdo it because they don't have that confidence. Some wrestlers will come out as a face, a baby face, a good guy, but not really pull us in with them. And we've talked about you already pulling us in. I'm telling you, my man, that is one of the tools in that big old toolbox that is so very important, connecting with us, bringing us in, doing the thing that you have right now with many other tools to collect later on in your career. That is so vital. And I love that you have that right now. Another thing that I believe that you have is a want to listen. Because I've been to training sessions at multiple different places. They all teach a little bit different. They all have different drills. They all have a different way because everybody's different. It is what it is. That's what makes the world go around. But it seems from me, again, my eyes, watching you over the past course of the almost a year now, we're working towards a year here.
Yeah.
You have a want to learn and you soak it in. And you seem to be pulling it off pretty well. I know not everything's perfect. It's live TV every time you step in that ring. I get it. Not everybody's pulling it off at the dub. And AEW and the New Japan, there's slip-ups everywhere across the entire globe in this business. So you can never beat yourself down for those little slip-ups. You just push forward and do it again. playing guitar on stage and fucking up stuff, oh my God, I would beat myself up later on. But when you're doing it, you just gotta push through.
Right.
Just stay on beat. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I talk about this because there's so many vital tools that you need in your toolbox as a singles wrestler. You seem to have a great start and the want to learn and the respect that I see as you meet people at the shows. You talk to your peers at the shows. I see all of this going on. I mean, yes, I'm a fan, but I've been around for a minute and I've had relationships with so many different promotions and so many different wrestlers. I can see when guys are assholes or less confident than others that need a little boost or are bad in the ring, if you will, that just aren't either challenging themselves or aren't listening. Right. So that's why I mentioned these things, because I see these things visually at the shows with one Superfro. And I love all of it because really, you know how when they say at Test of Strength, learn, unlearn, relearn, it's fucking real, man. It really is. But when you come up as a freshly molded student through a system like Test of Strength, you've got a great start to get on team. We've seen Just Jeff on AEW. Are you shitting me? Yeah. Just Jeff. Shut the flip up with Just Jeff. Oh my God. Being one Sammy Diaz. But shit, fucking Just Jeff. I can't get rid of that out of my mind for real. And with the little thing over his face, that was the best part. He got to cover his face. No. Wow. But these are vital tools that if you find yourself either a less reputable school or a school that just doesn't really challenge their students, you don't come up the way you should. And my friend, I think you are on an excellent path. I really do.
I appreciate that, man. You take in what Bobby and Wagner teaches you, and you just take everything, even on a weekly basis when you're training, whether you're booked or not. Like, you just take that in, whatever they tell you, or whatever they even tell other people. You take those notes, you apply it the next week, or you apply it the next show. Then you become the best product that you can be.
Now, being in shape, being fit, you need the cardio. A lot of guys in the wrestling business like to lift and get bulky, if you will. You have a physique about you right now, but you're still growing. And boy, you're going to be a big bastard when you get into your full skin. Holy crow. But it's not only about the moves. It's not only about doing the drills. It's not only about lifting weights. There's a couple other things. There's also a diet, if you will. Have you changed the way you're eating at all from where you started to where you are now? Or are you still hitting the old BK and Mickey D's and Chick-fil-A and such and Popeyes? What are we doing here?
We just getting the chicken, fish, and rice.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Just get your protein in. I just now recently started a new diet, so we're gonna see where that takes me. Okay. Well, right now it's just consistency in the gym, consistency in your training. The diet, if something's not working, you improvise, you do something different. So everything's a work in progress. As long as you're working on yourself to push yourself to a better, not only person, but as a performer and the way you want to be and want to look, that's all that matters.
Absolutely, man. Look at a guy like Randy Orton. He's jacked AF as it is. He returns like a year later or whatever. He's even more jacked and he's got 20 more pounds. I'm like, who the fuck? Like, oh my God. The dude's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
But that's what can happen if you put your mind, the mind portion with the physical portion, that package has really got to be there. That mental part. We talk about that a lot on STP, as much as I possibly can, because I've seen guys go to the wayside because of the mental part. They just give up, or they want to quit, or God forbid, we've seen them pass.
Right.
So the here and the there has got to be one. So I'm glad to hear that you're working with a diet, because that is part of that transformation. You are going to be so surprised. You look back, you could look at this STP in 3 years, like maybe a Sean Knight will, and just look at the differences. Look at your promos, look at your matches. A lot of guys don't want to look back because they think, I don't want to see that because it's the shits. Well, you know what? F that. I say, for me personally, I would want to look back and feel that transformation and look at my confidence and just all of it, you know? And that's why I do stuff with the young talent.
Yeah. And even from now, I feel like I had a great match on Sunday. Then I look back at the Rumble. I'm stepping in. As soon as I step through the ropes, pants rip in the middle. Like, it was last minute put together gear. I'm looking at what I did. I'm like, all right, I did that, but I could do better with that. A lot of people don't look at that. That's like almost a year ago. But for me, it's like I love seeing the evolution of where I started to where I am now. Even with like a training match from like 2 years ago. It's just a crazy transition to see. And it's an evolution that's like satisfying in a way, you know?
Yeah. I've been to a couple seminars at the dojo and recorded some stuff, and it's set on lock on my channel. Maybe I can share a little bit of some of that with you, because we had the likes of we had the likes of Nunzio over there doing a seminar. That was some fun.
Yeah.
Had the likes of a Just Incredible over there. That was some fun. And I believe there was one more, if I'm not mistaken, that I attended. And I asked, if I record, I swear it'll always be on lock. I won't be putting it out there, on the public eye and stuff like that. So I still have that stuff on lock. Maybe I can share a little bit of that with you. That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about getting into wrestling. Was it mom? Was it dad? Was it a brother? How did you get into wrestling?
It's funny because it was just a random summer day. I just got bored and I was scrolling through the TV. And I go to TNA, and the first match I've ever seen was, I think it was Karen Terrell versus Gail Kim in that last woman standing match.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, women do this, because I knew about it before, but I'm like, women fighting too? Then it goes to the next match, and it's James Storm versus Bobby Roode for the TNA title. He smashed on his head. And then for me, I was like, this is fucking cool. So then I go to WWE, and then the first thing I seen is like a John Cena Wyatt family vignette, and they scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what is going on? But I was just so into it. It was easy to get into, and then once like my mom or my dad, and once my family found out about it, they got the nostalgia from like when they used to watch back in the day. So then,
nice.
Once they told me about it, I went back and watched like the Hogan, the Savage, the Rock, etc. So that like I became a fan like really quick.
When you're not the only one that's kind of stumbled into wrestling like that as a fan.
Yeah.
So it's funny that I've heard it more than once from the talent, because in my eyes, I mean, I know we're all humans, we're not robots and all of that. But it's like wrestlers, when they get into wrestling, it's for a specific reason. It's for this. You don't just stumble upon wrestling. But I shit you not, boys and girls, we stumble just like we do. Like we do. They stumble upon wrestling, and that's fantastic. Now, your move set, it has a little of this and it has a little bit of that. You are not afraid to go up to the top rope. So what are some of your influences coming into becoming a wrestler? And I know you don't want to mimic and you don't want to take from and you want to make your own Superfro, and I get that stuff. But when you're coming in and you're training and you're getting to these shows, now you're getting called up, if you will, from the dojo, and now you're on the road shows. You're at the training days. You're being part of this promotion right now on a regular basis. Who are your influences that you're taking from to kind of really put together who you are, your gimmick, if at all, and your move set?
So, like, as far as gimmick, the main person I look at is Too Cold Scorpio.
Oh,
he was one of the coolest guys back then. So that's definitely gimmick wise. And Dusty Rhodes, like his promos, like,
oh my goodness.
When I cut promos, I just, my goal is to feel authentic and not just say stuff from like a phone or something. Like, I just say whatever's on my mind and it comes out perfectly. Like, that's where I get it from Dusty Rhodes. As far as moveset, obviously it's Snuka with the splash, but I am a fan of that mixture of a powerhouse and a high flyer. So I look at guys like Shelton Benjamin, D'Lo Brown, Eddie Guerrero. Those are really my inspiration as far as like in the ring is concerned.
Nice. Boys and girls, did you hear that? It's not Stone Cold. It's not The Rock. And I know they're filled with charisma. They've done so much for the game and all of that. Right. But we're talking Shelton Benjamin. I mean, I've been a fan of that kid since I first came across him way back when. I love everything about him. His end ring, his physique, his cardio, his athleticism, all of it. I mean, Shelton, you're talking like D'Lo Brown. I mean, these guys were some major, major influences in the game that you just don't hear about because the Rey Mysterios, the Shawn Michaels are kind of more out in the forefront, you know? So I appreciate those names you just gave us. That's beautiful. See, like my guy, and I don't know all about him. I never, I'm not a creeper and I don't know like his birthday and all of this. Don Morocco from back there. Don Morocco is my guy, even though he was a heel, and I boo the piss out of all the heels.
Yeah.
Me boo the piss out of heels. But Don Morocco back then, when I was a kid, I mean, I could believe anything he said if he was a good guy or a bad guy because he's been both in front of me on TV. But I would believe both no matter what.
Right.
And he's not flashy. He was just thick. And when he was a heel, he was just vicious and raw. He was nasty. I don't know why I was attracted to him because I've got the Von Erichs and you've got the Freebirds.
Yeah.
That was a real big part of my wrestling life, being WCCW. And I love the Von Erichs, but goddamn, I just really love Don Morocco.
Yeah.
And then, I kind of leaned over to Backlund a bit because my very first live event ever, 1978 at Bristol Central High School. He was going against Cowboy Bob Orton, Randy's papa. And my dad was taking a picture. And he looked over and he gave us, not the people behind us, not the people over there, nobody. And I'm sure he wasn't even looking at us. He gave us the thumbs up with the belt. So we were just like, I became a Backlund fan like right there.
Right. No, that's awesome.
But I always said that to my dad later because I always remember that. And I go, Dad, he probably wasn't even looking at us when you took that damn picture, but I didn't give a shit. The likes of the Wild Samoans were there with, with Lou Albano. So that was my era coming up. So this is what I'm talking about, though, Jaden. Oh yeah, Super Pro.
What? Who's that?
Who said that? I might have to do something there. I don't know. Let me see if I'm a wizard at that. See, I felt dirty. I never like to do that. I felt so dirty, right, when it came out. Do you see my reaction, right?
I mean, you have the old JC shirt right there. So I get it.
I'm sorry. But this is the thing I'm talking about. I'm a guy in my 50s. You're just graduating high school, and a young upcoming wrestling superstar. And I know it's going to happen for you because of everything you've got going on. But we are coming from way different generations, and we can sit here and talk wrestling and enjoy conversation and go back and forth like that. That is one thing that can really, and I've said this a bunch of times on STP. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're white or black, or if you're atheist, if you're Catholic. If you're a wrestling fan, you can always connect with a wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're one of these jackasses that are telling everybody how to work and how they should have done that and how the company should do this and all of those types of fans. That's not me. That's not my style. That's not my jam. So this is what I'm saying, two totally different generations, and we can just hang out and talk wrestling. That's what wrestling does for me, And I think you'll find that out more and more as you grow as a wrestler and a man. You're going to feel that for a long time coming.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, are you watching the current product right now with, it's hard to latch on sometimes and keep the week-to-week thing going with current products.
Yeah.
So are you watching the current products right now as a wrestler and or as a fan?
To be honest, I do watch. Watching WWE is like, I have to do it. Not because like I'm forced to, but because it's like it's something that I really love and that helped me get into what I'm doing today. So it's like, obviously I'm keeping up with that. I'm keeping up with NXT. That's because in my head, I envision Test of Strength like an NXT. We're developing new talent all the time, just like they are. So for me, like I'm able to connect to NXT because of that reason. But as far as that transition as a fan or a wrestler, like in a way, I watch it like both, if that makes sense. Like I'm studying, but at the same time, I'm copying.
And it's hard. It's hard to take that line and separate it while you're watching it and it's going down.
Right.
Because I do it too as a fan, but I've been around a minute. Like I said, I've been around a little bit, and I start looking and I'm picking, and I'm not being a fan, and I'm like, why did they do that? No, don't do that. Don't be that guy. Okay, enjoy, stop. Don't be picking, kind of thing, right?
Right.
But I find myself doing that a little bit more often than I probably should. But seeing where WWE/F was back then to where it is now, holy shit stick. They are literally, and I know they were global before, but these guys are truly international now that they've conglomerated and became this TKO thing here.
Yeah.
This is the most extensive I've ever seen, that anybody's ever seen WWE ever. And these are wild times, and very, very wild times. But it's got to be very exciting because of how you are seeing what NXT is and how you get called up, right? from the NXT. I mean, let's be honest. The draft is just a freaking, I don't know, man. It's just it's almost like a throwaway because once it's over, it kind of almost don't matter to a degree. But when you're in it on that one single night for the draft, it is so much fun to see the separation, right? Or the people stay, but it's really fun when they go to the NXT, they get called up and the room is just there. Right. And it's crying and it's hairs on the arms and it's goosebumps and it's emotion and it's hugging and it's heart warmth and it's everything because of the work you've put in to being called up to the main roster. I could absolutely see a draft with Superfro and the camera flies over there. And my guy, Superfro, gets called up. I can absolutely see it, man. It's going to be some good times ahead in your career.
Yes, sir. That's the goal, too.
We talked a lot and only 1 hour and like 6 minutes. We packed in a bunch. I mean, I can keep talking. People know that I can chat. That's for real. But what I'd like to do, kind of maybe bring this to an end here. And now, it's only been a year. But I know there's got to be at least one time somewhere on the road, doing the ring, something. Can you share a funny story with us? It could be at a gas station. It could be stuck on the road. It could be at a don't tell us anything illegal. Thing that may pop into mind that you could share with us, the fans, that could be a little ha-ha that we would never get if we're sitting at the merch table getting by 10 signed by one Superfro.
All right, so I go way back for this one.
Okay.
It was, I want to say, Halloween Throwdown in 2020. I was doing recruit for that show. And
okay.
Me and a couple, like, I think it was like 3 other people who used to train. After where the thing we do after the shows, we take apart the ring, load it in the U-Haul, we head all the way back to the dojo, we set up the ring. We were heading back to the dojo, and like as soon as we get on the highway, one of the guys' car broke down. So we're standing on the highway. We're like, what the fuck are we doing? Mind you, I'm 14, so I don't know what the hell is going on. So we have to walk. There was like this hill on the side where like you go up and there's gas stations and all that. We had to walk up that hill while the dude's car's getting towed. And then we're waiting for like an hour in this gas station, eating all their munchies, waiting for the guy's wife to pick us up. And God bless them, man. I forgot what their name was, but it was a long time ago. The wife had to bring everybody home, so it was like 4 different stops. And by the time we got picked up, ring crew was already done. It was like 2 in the morning. But that was a time. I mean, there's a lot of stories, but we'd be here all day.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've been on the old stuck on the highway with the trailer full of gear, and the trailer blew a tire. Oh yeah, we got the spare in the back. We get the spare that we pull out of the back. This thing doesn't go on this trailer. Where the fuck did you get this tire? It came with the trailer. Son of a bitch. So we took a BMW spare out of my boy's car and we put it on the trailer to get home.
Wow.
Yeah. So yes, we can share some stories. Absolutely, we could.
I do. I have one to tell you, but I can't say it. So.
Yeah. Kind of like.
Yeah, I'll tell you that shit.
Before I let you go, I want the fans to be able to know where they can find you. Give us the old handles on the face page, the Twitter, the Insta, the Pornhub, whatever you've got going on. Shh, don't tell Mama Fro. Hit us with those handles, please.
I mean, if I'll say this, if Superfro ever makes an OnlyFans, it'll be hot stuff. But nah, on Instagram, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on _official.superfro. On Facebook is where my actual name comes in. You can find me on Jaden JC. It'll have the Superfro in the parentheses. You can find me there. As far as the Twitter, I don't have that yet, but I have to make it soon.
That's okay. Elon Musk is kicking everybody off anyways. It's like
yeah, I'll stay off. Yeah.
Shit. Superfro, your charisma, your smile, your openness with us, the fans tonight, all of it, absolutely amazing. And I cannot thank you enough for spending the time with us out of your life to let us get to know Superfro a little bit more. I appreciate you, my man.
Absolutely. It's funny because when January happened, I was like, my goal one day is to get on this live stream and do this interview. So this was a blessing. So that was one of my goals.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope. I know I wasn't professional enough because I'm not professional. I just kind of do what I do, and we have a lot of fun. So I hope you had some fun. Very informative you were, and I love me some Superfro. Just before we go, boys and girls, quick story. This was on the back of one Superfro. He came out at a lit show, LIT, Legacy is Timeless, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yep.
It was wrong. I was doing my thing. He put the shirt down. I went to give it back to him later on in the intermission. He goes, "No, that's for you, Kincaid." I said, "Holy shit, I love you pieces for it." He gave me a little something on the back and marker. It still smells like Superfro from at LIT because I'm afraid to wash it that the marker will come off.
I'll resign it if you do.
Yeah, it still smells like Superfro. Definitely.
It's a good stuff.
That's why I wore this beautiful JC shirt. I had to. What else was I going to wear? Dan the Man? Are you shitting me?
Oh, suck. Hey, just real quick about the shirts. Let's just say now that Superfro is, hot stuff. Maybe not saying it's official, but maybe there's about to be like 4 to 5 shirts maybe releasing soon.
Oh.
Or maybe we add like some Afro wigs, maybe we add some pits. Who knows? Who knows? That's always a possibility. So everybody will be picking the fro still in the show along with me. So
don't make me do that because I'm good. I would. Can you do the headband? You see that beautiful headband there? Is there a way? Yeah. That would be fire. I have the hair headband.
We get the glasses. We can get it all. Everybody will be Superfro.
Oh God. I've already envisioned me with the stupid. Oh my God. My girl would kill me and she would laugh and probably pee a little bit all at the same time. I can just see me already with the fro. That would be fire.
Yeah. that's definitely in the works
though. See? You got to be creative, my friend.
Yeah.
Always got to be creative.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That was a lot of fun. We had such a blast with one of my all-time favorites coming up right now. Being Superfro, very informative. We even talked a little Mama Fro in there. We slipped her in a couple times.
Yeah.
I love the support that you get from your family and friends and peers. That's beautiful to me. I love all of that. We need that when coming up in the system, if you will.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see you come up on my TV. It may not be by the end of 2K24. I know that, but I know one day Superfro is going to be on my TV. Boys and girls, we've had an amazing time with Superfro, and I cannot wait to maybe catch up with them later on and see the evolution that we speak of with one Superfro.
Hell yeah.
This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and our very, very special guest, Hot Stuff, Superfro. Thank you, my man.
Thank you for having me, brother.